everyone, and welcome to Holistic Life with Kristen. Today, I wanted to share some of my secrets with you as to how you can live a more frugal lifestyle and still enjoy life. So the number one rule for financial security, and this is the most important thing, is to always make sure you are living below your means. You cannot spend more money than you bring in. If you're spending more money than what you bring in, you will be going into debt. So that brings me to frugal living tip number 1, and that is to go back to the last bank statement, or 3 bank statements if you can, 1, 2, or 3 months worth of bank statements, and literally categorize all of your spending. Groceries, household, shopping, put them in categories, all the things that you spent money on for the month, and see where your spending is. Because you need to realistically know how much you're spending and know where that money is going so that you can effectively set up a budget going forward. And also to make sure that you are actually living within your means. If you are in this situation now where you are spending more money than what you are bringing in, you have 2 ways to fix this problem. One is you need to spend less. If you can't spend less, most of you, I think if you look very closely at your spending, you will find areas where you can improve your spending. And we'll go over some of that here in a minute. But if you find that you are running a tight ship and you can't spend any less, your other option would be to earn more. So that would be, maybe taking on extra work or a side hustle or some kind of way, even if it's just small stuff like, walking people's dogs, babysitting, there's too many ways that you can make money on the side, mowing lawns, to name a few. There's all kinds of ways. But ultimately, if you are spending more than what you are bringing in, you're going to have to either earn more or spend less. Simple. So the focus of this video is going to be on ways to trim your spending. So one of the easiest ways to trim your spending is to trim your spending on your groceries. The reason that I say this is because it's such a large chunk of what you spend every month. You can't do a whole lot with your living expenses in terms of your housing costs and your utilities. Most of the time you might be able to cut your gasoline a little bit, by cutting out unnecessary trips, only doing the essentials. So in terms of cutting your grocery budget down, one of the best ways to cut down your grocery budget is to keep a list of notoriously inexpensive foods on hand, and you're going to plan the majority of your meals around those foods each week. And then to kind of fill in the gaps and to break the monotony of eating just, mostly those inexpensive foods each week, you can have a look at your local sales flyers and find fruits and veggies and meats that are on sale and incorporate those into your meal plan that week. And so this last week, I all of the fruits that I chose were all on sale. There were some plums on sale, super cheap. I found $1.99 strawberries, $1.99 raspberries, $3.49 organic blueberries, and it was a good sized tub. I was so happy. I was like, okay, well, we're eating blueberries this week, and they're so delicious. Because usually whenever you buy what's on sale, it's usually often what is in season too, which is going to taste better and it's going to save you money. But you've probably heard it before, and it is a fact of life. You're going to probably need to write out a meal plan each week. I hate to break it to you, but the meal plan is a must. If you want to avoid food waste, you're going to need to plan so that you can buy the fewest ingredients possible to make your meals each week. You don't want to have a bunch of extra of this and that and the other thing. You're probably going to be fighting that as it is. By the end of the week, you probably are going to be having some leftovers of this, that, and the other. And that's okay. On that final day or two before you go back to the grocery store again, those are the perfect opportunity to maybe use a little bit of creativity in the kitchen and literally just pull out everything you have left and think soups or pastas or tacos or fried rice. Those are perfect types of meals to cook where you can vary the ingredients. You know, you can make chicken tacos, you can make ground beef tacos, you can make pork tacos, you can make tacos out of anything. Same goes with pasta, same goes with soups, you know, and fried rice. You can throw anything in fried rice. So those types of dishes are the perfect dishes to make at the end of the week when you just have remaining, you know, a whole bunch of random remaining ingredients left, and see if you can squeeze out another 1 or 2 days worth of meals before you go do that next grocery shopping haul. And when you are dealing with an extremely tight budget, you really have to minimize spends that do not contribute any nutritional value. So that would be, you know, I would steer clear of boxed and processed foods just because they're so expensive. It would be cheaper and healthier for you to just make those on your own, usually, and then it's better for you. But more importantly, avoid, you know, extra snacks like chips, you know, avoid the chip aisle, popcorn, sodas, you know, juices. Try to stay away from some of that stuff because that is just, you know, calories that don't really provide a lot of nutritional value. And you can take the money that you would spend on snacks and sodas and juices and put it into more nutritious food options that's going to stretch out your week a little bit better. And then I think this kind of goes without saying, but it would be better to even splurge a bit more in the grocery store and cut out all eating out, you know, because eating out, I've done the math repeatedly, and it costs you anywhere from 2.5 to 3 times what it to eat anything outside than it would cost to cook that thing in your own kitchen. You can literally compare it apples to apples. You know, if you're going to buy steak in a restaurant versus making steak at home, or if you're going to, you know, make a sandwich, a burger at home versus a burger in the restaurant, whatever it is, it's almost always about 1/3 of that amount that you would spend in a restaurant to make that thing at home. So if you are currently spending more than you earn, one of the best ways to like really bring down your spending fast is to cut out eating outside. You got to stop doing that, and then cook everything at home. That's going to make a huge difference in your budget. And then besides groceries, another really large opportunity to save money is on the entertainment department. Okay, because there's a number of ways that you can go about tackling this. The first one would be to review all of your like subscriptions to, you know, various, you know, maybe streaming subscriptions that you might have, or whatever you have that's entertainment, you know, reading or streaming services, gaming services, pretty much anything that you do for entertainment. I would really, you know, evaluate those, because most of those are optional. You know, if you're looking to save money and you've tightened down your grocery budget and you still need to save more money, then cutting out those subscriptions, which are all definitely, I would say mostly would be unnecessary spending. You can live without those. You know, there's lots of free entertainment in terms of, you know, streaming. YouTube is a great place to get free entertainment. Tubi is another app that has free movies and TV, and they have some really good stuff on there. Also, if you do happen to have an Amazon Prime account, they do have Prime Video, which has lots of streaming on it. You know, I live in the real world, and I know Amazon's kind of, it provides a really good value for the money that you spend, honestly, because you get a free book every month, the Kindle book. It's a new release books that you can get through the Amazon First Reads program, and then they have the Prime Video, and they have Prime Music. and then you get free shipping on everything. So honestly, like if you happen to have Amazon is also not, you can do without it if it's really over budget, but I think it's always changing, but I think it's about $140 or something like that per year. So it breaks down to very little money per month, and the streaming that you get with that is well worth it in my opinion. Of course, if you're even more strapped than that, you could always eliminate Amazon too and just go with, Tubi or YouTube for your entertainment, or just avoid TV altogether. It's not to say, TV is not really even that good of it's not even really that healthy of a way to spend your time. And then you're going to want to make good use out of free resources, because you should have your public library, that they usually have DVDs and books, and some of them even have games. Our local library even has like board games and stuff of that nature, discovery kits, different things for small kids too. All of that is free of charge, and you can utilize those. And if you're looking another way besides just the library, if you're looking to get something new to read, if you have something on your bookshelf that you've already read and you don't intend to read it again, you can always take that book to a little library location. You can look those up online, and they're usually, various places in, local neighborhoods around you. It's probably going to be easier if you're in a bigger city like Houston, or at least a relatively large city, because there's probably going to be more of those available. But you can always go, maybe while you're out doing groceries, swing by one of those little libraries and swap out your book for another book. And then so by doing that, you can share your book with someone else, because maybe they didn't read your book, and then you can also get a new book to read. So I really like that option too, as a free way to read additional books. And then let's not forget how easy it is to just get out and go for a nice walk. You and your family, you can just get out and go for nice walks. That is totally free exercise and entertainment. It's good for you. It's good for your mental, it's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. It's definitely good for your pocketbook, So I don't really see a reason why not to do that. If you've got a bike, you can go for a bike ride. If you don't have a bike, you can always try to get one of those secondhand using Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, Goodwill, a lot of places that you can get a secondhand bike. And if the weather is rainy, you guys can stay home together as a family and get in the kitchen and cook a nice meal together. Maybe do a make your own pizza night at home. Play some cards, play some board games. So many things you can do at home as a family, and just enjoy the time, and those things don't even cost you any money. I would say, again, I'm also super lucky that I live in a place like Houston, but Houston has so many community centers where you can actually get access to free gyms or free swimming pools during the summer months. I don't know, I'm sure there's some communities where that's not really a viable option, but you can check in your local neighborhood and see if there are any free or low cost community centers that could provide some entertainment free of charge or at a very low cost, as opposed to like a gym membership. I actually have one of the family center that's real close to my house has an indoor walking trail and weights and everything. Awesome place, and it's totally free to the public. And let's not forget parks. If you have any public park near you that provides a relatively safe place to go for a walk, and let your kids run out some of their energy and enjoy a family picnic outside at the park. That could be a whole day thing. And again, this might be sort of location specific, but in Houston, we have lots of museums and the zoo, and those attractions all have free days for the community. So you could also take advantage of any free things that your community has to offer. Facebook is an awesome place to find things going on in your neighborhood that are low cost or no cost. That would be fun to go do as well. Another one of my favorite ways to save money is to shop secondhand. Okay, so you can do this at secondhand stores. You can go to Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. Maybe you see a garage sale in your neighborhood or somewhere close by. You're driving by and you see a sign for a garage sale. Go check that out. This is good for more than one reason, because one thing is it gives, unused items a second use, saves on waste. It's better for the planet. It's definitely better for your wallet. Okay guys, I hope you can put some of this into some good use. Go and review your spending from the last 1 to 3 months, set up a budget for yourself, and take advantage of some of those low to no cost entertainment options and cut out unnecessary spending. Take very good care of yourself, and I will see you guys on my next video.